Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to League 10 Sport, PSG are ready to offer 500,000 a week in wages to Paul Pogba if Pogba decides to leave Manchester United next summer. Now PSG couldn't get Paul Pogba in this year's summer transfer window because they got Lionel Messi. Paul Scholes recently backed Paul Pogba to stay at United. Now, was it last week? He said Paul Pogba wants to stay at Manchester United and sign a new £400,000 a week contract, which would make Paul Pogba one of the best paid players at the club. Paul Pogba's current contract at Man United expires next summer. Before the start of this season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract, and earlier on this season it said Pogba's very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer. He said not so long ago that Man United set the Paul Pogba deadline. We want Paul Pogba's future to be sorted by Christmas. Now, was it last week? Paul Pogba refused to rule out a Juventus return. Paul Pogba did admit he always speaks to his ex-Juventus teammates. Paul Pogba's agent Mino Raiola did suggest that Pogba could return to Juventus from Man United on a free next summer. Paul Pogba must take a big pay cut if he wants to join Juventus in the summer. Italian outlet La Gazzetta dello Sport said that Juventus are prepared to offer 10 million in yearly wages to sign Paul Pogba from Manchester United. Pogba has been relentlessly linked to a move to Real Madrid. Barcelona have also been in for him, and Inter Milan have been in for him before, so he's had a long-running transfer saga. Pogba's enjoyed a very good start to the Premier League season. He's already got 7 assists. He produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season, but at one point last season he was out with a thigh injury for a while, and he sustained a couple of ankle injuries at Man United. This season is Paul Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he rejoined. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far. We paid 89 million for him, so reflecting on that, is our most expensive signing at the moment. We had Paul Pogba when he was a lot younger under the Sir Alex Ferguson era, but had to let him go due to limited appearances. Mino Raiola has done a lot of talking. Don't forget, he made an announcement regarding Paul Pogba back in December last year. He said Pogba's career at Man United was over. He said he was unhappy and he has to leave, and he said he had no intentions of extending his contract. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's private view on Donny van de Beek becomes public. Solskjaer still believes Donny van de Beek has an Old Trafford future. And I've said Solskjaer has to start Donny van de Beek, especially in the Premier League. Van de Beek isn't getting enough game time at Manchester United. Van der Beek didn't play against Everton before the international break. He didn't play against Villa. He didn't play against Villarreal. He was furious with Solskjaer after he was left on the bench in Man United's win over Villarreal. Van der Beek was spotted throwing chewing gum in the dugout, and it says Van der Beek will try to force a January transfer away from Man United following his Villarreal meltdown. Van der Beek though did play the full 90 minutes against West Ham in the Cup, and he put a good performance out. Started against Young Boys in the Champions League and did well, but Van der Beek got taken off at half time in that game, and I heavily criticised Solskjaer for that. Fabrizio Romano said not so long ago that Van der Beek is planning to leave the club in January. Not so long ago it said Van der Beek's agent is said to be working hard on finding a new club for his client. It's said today that Juventus are in talks with Van der Beek's agent. Newcastle are interested in Van der Beek. Everton remain interested in him. That's what Sky Sports News said not so long ago. Everton were close to signing Donny van der Beek on loan, but Solskjaer rejected Van der Beek's exit. Earlier on this season, Van der Beek told Solskjaer his best position. He reckons he'd be best served operating as a number 6 or as a number 8, and Van der Beek spoke about his Man United future in an exclusive interview with Rio Ferdinand. Van der Beek has to start against Leicester at the weekend because obviously Fred's not available. This season is Van der Beek's second full season at Man United. We got Van der Beek in a deal worth 40 million with add-ons included. He's under contract with Man United till 2025 and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Now, like I updated you on my last video, Manchester United players are unhappy with Solskjaer's coaching. They seem to be happy with Ole, but they're not happy with the coaching standard. Obviously, our coaching staff is Michael Carrick, Kieran McKenna, and Mike Phelan. Not so long ago, Mike Phelan signed a new contract. But despite that, Man United are set to stick with Ole, Michael Carrick, Mike Phelan and Kieran McKenna. So you know the news on that. Manchester United have got a very, very good squad. But it's not playing as a team. It's playing as individuals, like Gary Neville mentioned earlier on this season. Neville said the likes of Liverpool, City and Chelsea all play as a team. You know, we've got the best player in the world in Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo recently scored his 112th international goal for Portugal. Don't forget Ronaldo got named Premier League Player of the Month for September. Ronaldo has obviously scored 3 goals in the Premier League so far since he re-signed for Man United, and he's scored 5 goals for Man United in all competitions. Don't forget, Ronaldo was annoyed with Solskjaer after Man United's 1-1 draw with Everton. Ronaldo stormed down the tunnel. Solskjaer got criticised for not starting Ronaldo against Everton, but Solskjaer did say he had no regrets over not starting Ronaldo. Ronaldo obviously wants to retire at Man United. Then coach Cristiano Jr. in the Red Devils youth team. Prior to the Villa game, Solskjaer said he believes Ronaldo can keep playing for Man United into his 40s. Ronaldo is 36 at the moment. Ronaldo's already hinted that he's looking to stay at Man United beyond his current contract. Ronaldo's under contract with Man United till 2023. There's an option of a further year. Ronaldo receives £480,000 a week at Man United, so he's the highest earner at Man United. Ronaldo wears a number 7 shirt, and we got Ronaldo for 19.8 million with add-ons included. I think Ronaldo will be playing alongside Cavani now because we are considering a formation change which will allow Solskjaer to play 2 strikers. You've got Edison Cavani, that's also good. Cavani played against Everton before the international break. He had a very good chance from a downward header but produced a good save from Jordan Pickford. Edison Cavani was out with injury earlier on this season. But Cavani's hold-up play is good. He links up the play well. His movement in and around the box is good. He creates chances and he can score very good goals. Plus, Cavani's got a very good pedigree behind him because when he was at PSG, he won a lot of silverware. Not only that, he was a long-serving player at PSG. But Cavani's got under a year left on his contract at Man United. It was back in May he signed that 1-year contract extension. Cavani receives over £200,000 a week. Cavani will probably leave next year, but I can't say I want him to because he's made an impact since he's come in. Revert back to what I've said before. The other week it said Real Madrid want Cavani on loan in January. And I think Barcelona will reignite their interest in January because Barcelona wanted Edison Cavani on deadline day in the summer transfer window. It's good news that we've got Marcus Rashford back now. Marcus Rashford was out with a shoulder injury for a while. Don't forget he had to have an operation on his shoulder. Rashford scored twice in the behind closed doors friendly game against Blackburn not so long ago. But it's good now that Rashford is back. Will look much better. The question is, will Rashford get in the team? Rashford has endured his bad periods at Man United, but like I've said to you before, he's mostly effective from the left-hand side. Rashford's been a United player since the age of 7. He's been in our senior squad since 2016. Rashford's got a contract with Man United till 2023. Mason Greenwood, he's also very, very good as well. He's mostly effective from the right wing. Greenwood has been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. Despite him going a long period without scoring, Greenwood made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7, and last season Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract with the club. Greenwood scored 3 goals in the league so far this season. Jaden Sancho, he's also a good player, but he's endured a bad start to his Man United career. But revert back to what I've said before, it does take some players time to settle in. And I've said before, Sancho will do well at Man United providing Solskjaer uses him correctly. Solskjaer's failing Sancho at Man United at the moment. The main reason is because Solskjaer's playing him out of position. He's putting him on the left wing instead of the right. He can play as a left winger, but he's much more effective as a right winger because that's his predominant position. You can also play Sancho centrally. The other week, Borussia Dortmund warned Man United about the Jaden Sancho problem. Borussia Dortmund's CEO said that Jaden Sancho's lack of game time at Man United is hurting my soul. We got Sancho in a deal worth 78 million with add-ons included. He's under contract with Man United until June 2026. There's an option of a further year. You've obviously got Bruno Fernandes. That's also very, very good. Bruno Fernandes is one of our best players and he's one of the best signings we've made since Fergie retired. In a lot of his games at Man United he's been very consistent, but on the other side of things there's been quite a few games where he's looked off the pace. Bruno Fernandes starts every game, more or less. Earlier on this season, it said Bruno Fernandes was close to signing a new 5-year contract with Man United worth £250,000 a week, with the signing of Ronaldo. At the moment, Fernandes is under contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year. Bruno Fernandes has already made it clear that he wants to stay at Manchester United. Last season, he won Player of the Year and he won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. We got Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Fernandes has been at Man United for almost 2 years now. He predominantly plays as a number 10. You've obviously got Donny van de Beek. That's also very good, but he doesn't get enough game time. You know, you've got Paul Pogba. That's very good. Like I've said, I want Paul Pogba to stay at Man United. You've got Luke Shaw. That's a very, very good left back. He hasn't been fantastic so far this season. He was far superior last season to how has been so far this season. Luke Shaw's just come back from minor injury and illness. And I reckon Luke Shaw's had a good career at Man United despite his injuries he's had. Shaw's been at Man United for like 7.5 years, so he's been a long-serving player. And Luke Shaw's been our first choice left back for a while and still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Telles. Shaw's got under 2 years left on his contract at Man United. You've got Wan-Bissaka. That's a decent right back. But there is aspects of his game that I've got to improve. But despite that, I still reckon Wan-Bissaka is one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville. Defensively, he's always been superb. This season is Bissaka's third full season at Man United. We got Bissaka for 50 million from Crystal Palace back in the summer of 2019. You've got Varane. That's a very good centre-half. I think he's enjoyed a pretty good start to his Man United career, but in the last 2 games he has looked off the pace, but in the other games he's played and he's done well. He's looked well composed, he's been effective in the air, and he's brought the ball out well from the back. Now obviously we've got some bad news regarding Raphael Varane. He's injured. Varane came off injured in France's Nations League final against Spain. Varane went down holding his leg. So anyway, reflecting on that, Varane is now a doubt for the Leicester game at the weekend, so that gives Solskjaer more of a headache. But we got Varane in a deal worth 41 million with add-ons included. We paid like 34 million up front. Varane is under contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year. Varane to Man United was official just before kick-off against Leeds, which was the opening day. But Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced. He's got a very good pedigree as a player because Varane won a lot of trophies when he played for Real Madrid. And when he was at Real Madrid, he was a long-serving player for them. Harry Maguire, he's a good centre-half when he wants to be. He hasn't been great so far this season. Harry Maguire's had his good games at Man United, he's had his bad games. Harry Maguire is out with injury, so he won't be reuniting with his former club on Saturday. Maguire came off injured in the 1-0 defeat to Aston Villa. Maguire had ligament damage in his ankle towards the end of last season. He said not so long ago that Man United are set to offer Harry Maguire a new 5-year contract worth £300,000 a week. We want to reward Harry Maguire as he's established himself as a key figure under Solskjaer. At the moment, Harry Maguire currently earns 189 grand a week and is under contract with Man United till 2025. Maguire has made 78 appearances in the Premier League for Man United. We got him from Leicester back in 2019, got him for 80 million. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and is the second most expensive signing at the club. I think Eric Bailly, he's a good centre-half. He's not going to really get in the team now though, is he? He will do for now, obviously, with Maguire and Varane being injured. Bailly played against West Ham in the Carabao Cup. That was his first start this season. What a good performance he put out. I don't want him to leave next year, Bailly. My only element of concern about him is injury prone. Towards the end of last season, Bailly signed a new contract with Man United till 2024. There's an option of a further year. David De Gea, good goalkeeper. He's done well so far this season. De Gea's made very good saves and his distribution's been good. And after the Villarreal game, Solskjaer hailed De Gea as the best goalkeeper in the world. Don't forget De Gea reclaimed the number 1 spot back. So reflecting on that, he said Dean Henderson wants a loan move away from Man United next year. We know De Gea is staying at Man United for at least this season anyway, because it said De Gea decided to cut short his holiday by 2 weeks. This was in the summer, to fight for the starting place, and it said De Gea is determined to fight for his Man United future. This season is De Gea's 11th season at Man United. He's been a long servant. He's been with us since the Ferguson era. He's made mistakes in the last couple of years, but he's made up for them mistakes so far this season. He's won everything domestically at the football club and he's made over 500 appearances for Man United in all competitions. De Gea's got under 2 years left on his current contract and he receives 375 grand a week. And Dean Henderson, he's a good goalkeeper as well. He's only been in goal for 1 game this season so far, and that was West Ham in the Cup, and he did well in that one. Dean Henderson was out with COVID for a while, but Henderson did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. So there you go. We've got a good squad. Our squad must be worth around 805 million. That squad is a title-winning squad, so there's no more excuses for Ole. And even earlier on this season, Solskjaer told his current Man United squad that it's better than the 1999 treble-winning team that Ole was part of. There is some inconsistent players at Man United, you've got to say. I don't think McTominay and Fred are good enough. Like I said to you the other week, there's United fans that are having a go at Solskjaer for persistently selecting Fred and McTominay in the centre midfield. I don't think Matic is good enough, but he's had his good games at Man United. Lindelof's not good enough. Got me strong reservations about him. Don't think Dalot's good enough either. Martial isn't good enough. Lingard isn't good enough. So there you go. And obviously there's just some players that don't get in our team. Mata doesn't get in the team. Martial doesn't really play a lot. Van der Beek doesn't get enough game time, like I said. Telles doesn't really get in the team. Dalot doesn't really get in the team. Lindelof and Bailly will get in the team for now, with Maguire and Varane being injured, like I mentioned earlier. But obviously when they're back, they'll find it hard to get in the team. Dean Henderson obviously doesn't really get a chance now because De Gea reclaimed the number 1 spot back. Imad Diallo doesn't really get in the team. He's played in the first team a few times, and I did mention at that time he looked a good asset for the first team squad. Imad Diallo's just come back from injury. So there you go. And obviously you've got Tom Eaton as well. We obviously brought him in as a backup. Tom Eaton did well to his credit throughout pre-season. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you for today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.